We need to revisit temperature a little bit. And I'm not sure if how far I went into temperature before, but temperature and thermal energy or heat are not the same thing. Temperature is just an indication of in general, how much kinetic energy or how fast those particles are going. Kind of related to that, temperature will, however, tell us that the direction that heat will flow. Temperature, heat always flows from a high temperature to a low temperature. Okay, so that's one thing about temperature. Now, temperature is really important. Here's my kind of quickly, sorry, there's my gas particles, and the four things we need to describe the condition of the gas are the pressure, the volume, the number of moles, and the temperature. So temperature is going to be important in working gas problems. The temperature scale that we have to use is one that we're probably least familiar with, and that's the Kelvin temperature scale. You know that's a Kelvin temperature scale will be units of K, or Kelvin. Now, the Kelvin temperature scale is the most sophisticated type of scale in that actually 0 Kelvin really means something. 0 Celsius does not mean anything, 0 Fahrenheit does not mean anything, but 0 Kelvin means that actually all motion has stopped. And I think one of the things we talked about way back in the beginning of this class was that all matter has motion. So if motion stops, then, you know, that just doesn't happen. So at 0 Kelvin, a temperature of 0 Kelvin, all molecular motion is stopped. Sometimes the Kelvin scale is called the absolute temperature scale because 0 Kelvin actually is sometimes called absolute zero. So 0 Kelvin equals absolute zero. So when we work gas problems, the T in the P, pressure, volume, number of moles, and temperature, the T has to be in units of Kelvin. So this slide kind of tells you sometimes, and how do I say this? When we talked about what the standard, international standard unit of measure is for temperature, I'm not sure, we might have even said Celsius. But Celsius can be converted, maybe we said Kelvin. Celsius can be converted to Kelvin by adding 273.15 units. So if you have Celsius, what you do is you add this many units, 273.15, and voila, you have the units, and you have the Kelvin units. Now, if you have the Kelvin units, you have to subtract 273, and voila, you have the degrees Celsius units. So kind of keep all that in mind.